Come on, man. Live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another week of the webinars, ladies and gentlemen. Real Canna in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all beat me to the webinar this morning. I like that. I like when y'all beat me here, man. Shows me y'all really about that life. What's up, everybody? Valerie, CFO, accounting in the building. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yes. Valerie from Oregon. Oregon, I thought you were from California, Valerie. Are you moving around? Oregon, West Side, West Cali, whatever, but she's always here. Big up to you, Valerie, TACFO Accounting. Big up, big up, big up. Always here absorbing all the information. Big up to you. Big up to Sandy, one of our mastermind members. Big up to Sandy, one of our mastermind members, baby, all the way from St. Vincent, baby, the Caribbean, getting it in with Canna, coconuts and cannabinoids. Big up to you, Sandy. Big up, big up, big up. Who else is in the building? We got Stacy in the building. What's up, Stacy? MSN Packaging in the building. She's also one of our mastermind members, ladies and gentlemen. If you need packaging, go check out Stacy. She does it big, man. Small, independent, and she's going to make sure she takes care of you and get you the best pricing from overseas, onshore, domestic, whatever you need, man. Check out Stacy. Big up to you, Stacy. Always on the check-in. You know? Richard Rodriguez. What's up? Dallas is in the building. Dallas in the building. Dallas, Texas, baby. Let's go. Everybody throw it up, man. Let me know where y'all from in the chat, man. Make sure you put your names in there so that I can see y'all. Big up Taliba, South Jersey in the building. Taliba's always here. Real Canna, long time follower. Big up to you, Taliba. Always getting that information and content, man. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all are here every week, man. Y'all are going to exceed the knowledge level of so many other individuals in this cannabis industry, man. So big up to all of y'all, man, for taking the time and effort and really putting it out there, man. Tuesday, in the middle of a damn day on a Tuesday. That's right, and we got Gary Cohen in the background. He's in the background right now, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. We ain't gonna bring him on yet. I got to do all my announcements, man. So Gary, you can chill out, relax, check me out. But that's my guy, Cova in the building. Cova software, man, the best POS in cannabis by far, y'all. I told y'all I'm a tech head, man. I only do this because, you know, I'm a tech head, so I got to share my information. I got in this whole industry because why? I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur for 30 years. Many of you guys are first-time entrepreneurs. I decided I was going to help and shed the light on all the different things that would help you sidestep the problems in the cannabis industry. And the POS is the lifeblood, the heart of your entire absolute operation, ladies and gentlemen. So this is a very important webinar, ladies and gentlemen, today. This is a very important webinar today, man. Because we're talking about the heartbeat of the entire operation goes inside of that POS, guys. And you don't understand the importance of some of the data that's in there. And that's why I brought Gary here today, man, to pick his brain and get us some real great information on what it is that you can do to leverage your POS. Class is lit. You back home in Dubai. Class is lit. You all over the place. You was in Thailand last week. Now you in Dubai this week. Big up to you, man. Classes that our international followers in the building, but originally from, I think you're from NY, right? Yes, but man, you're doing it big all over the place. We got to build, man. I like my international folk, man. A lot of opportunity internationally, guys. So big up to you, classes lit over there in Dubai, man. I need some of that Dubai money, baby. We need Dubai money in cannabis. That would make it a lot easier for us, okay? Steve from Buzz Crew. What's up, Steve? POS info is crucial for marketing. I know. Yes, that's right. You make websites for the industry, and this is something I have to teach owners. That is right, Steve. That is crucial information. Big up to you, man. I'm going to start showing you guys comments, man. Human Resources, you're always here as Human Resources. I never can say your name, but what's up, Human Resources? Human Resources in the building. Good morning from Lake Tahoe, California. Yay. You see, man, we got people plugging in from all over the place, man. I love this. I love the fact that everybody plugs in, whether it's international, national, onshore, offshore, whatever. Richard Rodriguez in the building. Stacy's in the building. Good morning from Miami. M.I. Hey, let's go. Miami in the building. And Valerie, she's moving around a bit. I thought you were in Cali Valley. But you in Oregon now, so we got to switch it up. All right. Big up to all of y'all, man. Let me get into this so I I don't hold everybody up too long because y'all know last week, man, I get crazy. I get into my announcements and I go in. But this week, baby, we're going to jump right into it, ladies and gentlemen. The first and most important announcement of them all. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready. The Real Cannabis Entrepreneur Conference. And guess what? We are changing it to the Real Cannabis Psychedelics Entrepreneur Conference. First time psychedelics is going to happen in New Jersey, and we're going to reveal so many business models and other things that you can participate in, guys. So don't miss it, man. October 18th, 19th, we have the largest cannabis conference in New Jersey, grown to over 1,000 attendees, 40 plus speakers. And this year we're going 60 plus speakers, man. It's going to be off the chain because we're adding psychedelics. Gary's going to be on stage from Cova as well, guys. You're going to learn even more in-depth information. This is just the tip of the iceberg, but this is a big one, y'all. Coming up in Newark, New Jersey, Doubletree. We had to upgrade to the largest hotel ballroom to hold everybody, man, from the last year this year. And we still overflowed the parking lot last year, so make sure you get your tickets early, guys. Early. RealCannabisEntrepreneur.com. RealCannabisEntrepreneur.com, right? Juan, what's up, Juan, in the building? J-Mart, Shadow Grown Gardens, what's up? Shadow Grown Gardens in the building. All right. On to the next. You guys hear me talking about our private cannabis mastermind group, ladies and gentlemen. If you are ready, if you're serious about taking your business to the next level, if you're really serious about taking your business to the next level and you want to surround yourself with over 186 cannabis professionals that are doing the damn thing on a daily basis, doing big business, that been in it longer than you, that can tell you more, that can share information, guys, this is the way that you crowdsource the mentality and smarts of other individuals in the cannabis community. You can't do it as an island, ladies and gentlemen. This is a team sport. And people are learning this in real time more than ever before in cannabis. This is a team sport. You cannot play it by yourself, man. You're going to kill yourself trying to play it by yourself and being greedy. So it's all about establishing a team. Building a team, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to build a dope team and you want to make sure that you learn the right things, we started the mastermind group back in 2018. It was just 5 of us. And now we're up to 186 cannabis professionals from all over the planet, man. And we share information, resources. We go through the issues that are happening in people's businesses, each other's businesses. And we throw out all types of ideas and other things that you can fix and make and monetize and turn it up on a whole nother level, ladies and gentlemen. This is the way that I call reading the future. When you put people in the same group that are smarter than you, that are further ahead, this is how you pole vault your business, ladies and gentlemen. People always ask me, Gary, how did you stay in business for 30 plus years? And I always tell them, because I was never scared to invest in myself, to put myself around people that were smarter than me. Remember, when the people that are smarter than you, they're going to teach you to go faster. If you're the smartest person in the room, you need to bail. You need to bail. So this is how you do it. And I've been in several mastermind groups like this, man, that have helped my business pole vault itself. So if you're ready to get busy, go to realcannabisentrepreneur.com/mastermind. That is realcannabisentrepreneur.com/mastermind. And yes, this is a paid group, guys. You got to be serious about it. You go through a whole application process and approval process. We got to make sure you're about that life. But if you are, you get into our group, guys. You're going to be around some of the best cannabis professionals. A lot of people that you see on stage that are speaking. Kim B, Tara, Dr. David. All of these individuals are people who come and share information with inside our private cannabis mastermind. Teresa from Panacea Payroll. Tom from Payments, U.S. Payments. Everybody's in the group, guys. So come and check it out. realcannabisentrepreneur.com/mastermind. All right? All right, mastermind. All right, next announcement on board. Let me see who else is on deck. Hold them real quick. Next announcement on board is our, let me see which one I'm going to do next. Oh, dispensary grand opening marketing, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, all my dispensary owners in the building. If you don't want your grand opening to fall flat like a lot of others did in Jersey because they weren't marketed properly, guys, contact us, borrow our swag, guys. We got the largest list of all cannabis enthusiasts, investors, professionals in New Jersey. If you want to really get your grand opening popping and you want to get the people that are important there, go to realcannamarketing.com. You saw me do it at Evolve Cannabis. You saw me do it at Timber. You saw me do it at several other places, guys. And we got the largest amount of individuals to come out for any grand opening, man. And all of the vendors that were there confirmed it for us. Miss Grass, Fernway, the botanist, they said, Gary, these were more people than I've ever seen come out to a grand opening, guys. And that's because we market. I'm a marketer by trade, ladies and gentlemen, and I got the resources. So if you guys need some help and you're ready to do your grand opening the right way, make sure you go to realcannamarketing.com. realcannamarketing.com. All right, 2 more, and then we're going to bring Gary on, guys. 2 more, and then we're going to bring Gary on. All right, next one up. Let me see what I'm going to do. Let me see what I'm going to do this week. All right. So let's see what we're going to do. No, I did that one already. All right. Omnichannel marketing, ladies and gentlemen. If you have a product or service and you need to get it in front of any cannabis professionals, licensed cannabis professionals, dispensary owners, cultivators, manufacturers, distributors, delivery guys, we have accumulated the largest list of cannabis license holders, ladies and gentlemen, over 30,000 in our database. It took us over 6 years. And guess what? This, for the first time in history, I'm giving you a chance to leverage all the hard work that I did for 6 years to gather all of this data into this database of all the license holders, investors, everybody else, guys. So if you have a product or service and you're ready to get it in front of all the dispensary owners, you're ready to get in front of cultivators, guys, come holler at me, man. I'm going to do this thing in a whole nother way that you've ever seen marketing done to really generate those leads, quality leads, quality ways to monetize what it is that you're doing. Go to realcannaadvertising.com, ladies and gentlemen, realcannaadvertising.com. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're ready to get it popping, ready to get your product or service in front of other dispensary owners out there in the building. And then my last one for the day, and then we're going to get it popping. My last one for the day, then we're going to get it popping. For all of you guys going through the application process right now, for all of you that need some help, for you, all of you that want to save money, I'm tired of seeing all my people waste so much money because they did not have the know-how. Guys, contact me. I'm walking people through this process, and I'm doing it very liberally. I'm saving you a whole bunch of cash to the tune of 5 and 6 figures, man, deep. I'm saving people and doing the thing. Go to realcannaconsulting.com, realcannaconsulting.com. I got several people going through the process, man, and you know I got all the resources and all the people that I know within the industry, guys. So just leverage me when you need to really make it happen and you don't want the headaches and you want to move fast, guys. Just come holler at me, realcannaconsulting.com, and I can help walk you through the process, man, give you the resources, and do a whole bunch of other stuff that's just going to save you a whole bunch of time, money, and agony. You know what I mean? Time, money, and agony. And we're experiencing some agony over here in New Jersey. Going through this licensing process, ladies and gentlemen, we're experiencing some agony. So don't put yourself through it, ladies and gentlemen. Utilize your resources, and that's why I'm here, man. I did this all for us, ladies and gentlemen, to make sure that I help all of y'all. So plug in, man, realcannaconsulting.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're about ready to blast off, man, for another week of a Real Canna webinar series, man. And everybody's been telling me how much they've been learning from it, guys. But get ready for a real treat, man, because I'm going to bring in my guy, Gary, man. And we got the same name. So y'all already know he's about that life. You know what I'm saying? And y'all may have seen him on the 420 Festival some years ago. We haven't had him on in a while. So we got to bring him back the Real Canna way. Y'all know how we do, right? We're very different here in Real Canna. Y'all know how we do. We can't just be boring here. We got to bring the noise. So right now, everybody, get your keys on the chat. Everybody, right now, G's in the chat. G's in the chat. Everybody, type it up. Put the G's in the chat right now. We can't clap for Gary, so we got to hit the G's on the chat right now. Everybody, put the G's in the chat right now so we can get Gary on and hype him up. Let's go, y'all. Let's go. If y'all really want to get some great information, let's go. Throw the G's in the chat. All right, they're coming in fast. Everybody put the G's in the chat. I can't bring them out until we get enough G's. Big up to you, Human Resources. Big up to you, Steve, Buzz the crew. Big up, big up, big up, big up, big up, Stacy. Big up. All right, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring him on. Gary Cohen from Cova, POS software in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, there he is.
Hey. Man, Human Resources does the G's. Thanks.
Human Resources ain't playing no game. He wants to see Gary here today. Let's go. Thank y'all, brother. What's up, Gary? How you doing today, man?
I'm doing awesome.
Yes, man.
It's good to
so
be
glad
here.
to have you here, man.
I'm psyched to talk about all this stuff.
Oh, man, this is going to be a good one, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, I worked hard to make sure that we got some really pointed questions for Gary, man. Stuff that's going to teach you guys on a whole nother level. So this one's going to be really educational. I'm going to learn from this one. It's many things that I need to learn at the same time, ladies and gentlemen. So I want you guys to pay attention really closely, man. This is Gary Cohen, CEO of Cova POS. And Gary, before we get started, for those who don't know who you are, don't know who Cova is, why don't you give them a brief, intro about you, Cova, and all that good stuff?
Yeah, I will. Well, it's good to meet you guys. And some of you on the chat, I've already know, and we've met. But we started Cova about 8 years ago. We went commercial 7 years ago. And we went to business, specifically for cannabis retail. And there's a long story behind it, but, cannabis POS is incredibly complex. And it's because of the compliance, the products, and then the different state by state in all the regulations and inventory. So it was a really hard thing to do. And we focused on compliance, which is what we learned from Colorado, Oregon, and Washington, the first states. And I went to all the retailers before we were even building the product, the POS product, and said, what's most important? And they all said, if you don't understand compliance, none of the rest of this stuff that we're going to talk about today matters. So we're going to touch on a lot of this stuff that is really important for you as an operator. I'll bring a lot of the knowledge we have, because we have over 2,000 dispensaries using our software. We're the second largest in North America. I think we're second in New Jersey as well. And, I just want to share all the stuff that we've learned. So I don't want this to be an ad for Cova. I want it to be stuff that you can take away. And if you haven't opened your dispensary, I'm hoping that we give you ideas that will help you, do it right and do it successfully. If you're already operating a dispensary, and let's say you're not using Cova, then hopefully I give you some ideas that you can use to leverage the POS that you have. So that's it.
Yes. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to get all of the goodies, man. And like I said, he's here to really dive deep and tell us about the inside secrets that only they have, because, guys, like I said, over 2,000 dispensaries are running their software. That means they have a data repository of great information that only these guys have. So that's why I wanted to bring them here to share some of that information with you guys, ladies and gentlemen. And this is going to be invaluable data. As a marketer, this is the stuff that we want to know. These are the things that we're going to use to help you monetize and grow your basket size and order size and return value and retention. All of these keywords, guys. So we're going to talk a little bit about marketing. We're going to talk some data today. So, Gary, we're going to pop it off with the first one that I want to know, man. Which product types are you seeing trending up? What is trending up, and what have you seen have the largest experience the largest growth overall? What is it? Well,
what's wild is the answer is pre-rolls. So I don't know if it's convenience or I'll tell you what piece of pre-rolls is growing the fastest are the dog walkers. So the little, 0.35, 0.5 gram pre-rolls that come in 4 to 10 in a package. We've seen that grow the most in the last year. Behind that, the second biggest category is infused pre-rolls. Mm-hmm. So that's become, a thing with 40% THC and above.
Yeah.
Like that. They like that, they don't have to roll blunts. They can get something that just hammers you. And that's been big. We saw drinks go up a lot, but it's seasonal. We see drinks, infused drinks go up in the warmer and warmer months. So if you have a refrigerator case and you're selling that stuff, it's moving, and it's a high profit product. So that's second.
But only seasonal, Gary? I want to stop you for a minute about beverages. You said it's seasonal. You're seeing movement seasonally. So is it during the hot months more so?
Yeah,
summer months?
Hot months. People are buying more drinks. And they share them. If you get a 50 milligram, 100 milligram drink, they're taking hit. Each one's passing it back and forth. Taking a hit off it.
Right.
And, but drinks overall have grown over the last 3 years. But now that we have 3-4 years of data, we're seeing, May through August, it's spike. It's kind of funny to say the word spike for drinks.
Truly spiked in August. Yeah.
Truly spiked.
All the way spiked. But that's good to know, man. And guys, you heard them loud and clear. Pre-rolls. We've been experiencing those, and particularly the minis, the smaller versions, the ones that you can get more, that you could spread it a little further along. I like those too, because, you light it. If you light a big spliff, we tend to smoke a big spliff. If you light a small one, you smoke a small one, realize you've had enough. So
Well, I
I
love
do
how
like.
they call them dog walkers. Like the time it takes you to walk your dog, you can smoke that thing, done.
That's what
I
it is.
mean, it's brilliant. There's a
Exactly.
lot of New Jersey people walking their dogs, so
Yeah,
it works.
absolutely. And the infused. I want to talk infused as well, man. We haven't seen much infused pre rolls yet in Jersey. They're starting to come. I haven't seen any actually yet. But I've experienced it myself in Vegas, man, and I loved it. It was so sweet. And Vegas and Arizona. Arizona had really sweet infused pre rolls, and that's when I was confused. I didn't know what they were doing in terms of infused, and I kept saying, "Wait, how y'all got weed that's 47%? Where are y'all growing this? How are you growing?" I started asking them questions, and they were like, "No." Then they told me about the infused. That was a while ago, and I learned about infused split pre rolls, and I was like, "Wow!" I was confused. Like, how is it this high? But yeah, infused is really dope, y'all. If you haven't tried it, man, I'm telling you, it's really smooth. It's really nice to the nice pull. So I definitely like those, man. So yes, that's good stuff, Gary, and the beverages. So how did dispensaries? We're gonna talk a little bit about, the dispensaries running the POS. And one of the biggest things, one of the biggest challengers as a marketer, and I'm always helping the owners do this as well, is increase the average order size, increase your basket size, make that person get, it's all about upselling, cross-selling, figuring out how I can get that individual in the door to spend more money. So I want to ask you, Gary, with the POS data and all of the goodness that you guys have, I want you to share a little secrets about how the dispensary owners can really increase that basket size.
Well, there's a lot of things you can do. One is educate your bud tenders, and educate your bud tenders on salesmanship. They are salespeople. I think a lot of times they get stuck into this kind of realm of being an order taker. Of what do you want, customer? Customer tells them, they fill the bag, and that's it. But and I was going to talk more about this when we talked about operational secrets, but educating your bud tenders on salesmanship, which is, it's consultative. It's asking the customer, what are you looking for? What are you trying to accomplish? And then not only are you trying to do a better job there, but that upselling, what we see a lot in the more mature markets is there's promotions. Now, promotions reduce your margin, but they can also increase your basket size. So if you're doing buy this, get that, buy one, get one, so you're selling something at full price, you might be giving something that's got a lot lower price and a lot lower cost. So your overall margin on the sale is good, or your profit is good. I think that what we've seen people do in, like, when I say mature markets, like 4+ year recreational markets, we're seeing a lot of, they've got Munchie Monday and Weed Wednesday and Shatterday and all this stuff. If you can get your bud tenders to sell over and above what the discount or the promotion of the day is, and again, don't let them just take the order. Have him say, by the way, you're buying this promotional thing, but we've also got a new line of shatter. Let's get you a sample of it. In a sample, right, maybe $20. $20 versus normally 40. But anyhow, you can ask them to add on. I think the second thing you can do, and this is a huge one that comes right from the POS, is, in every state, there's a purchase limit. So if someone's filling their basket, hopefully in your POS, it shows how much of what you've put in has gobbled up their purchase limit. And it should show a remainder, like they have 3 grams remaining, they have 10 grams remaining. Well, if they've only got a few grams, say, hey, you want to go ahead and round this out with a couple of pre-rolls. So 3 1-gram pre-rolls will get you to your limit, and you just sold another $36 worth of product. So right, paying attention to what the limit is and making that suggestion.
Right.
Okay, these are things that increase basket size.
Yeah. No, that's really good stuff, man. Really good stuff. I hope y'all paying attention over there. Gary just dropped some bombs on you. He's giving you the info on the platter, guys. Pay attention. Write this down. But it's all about the upsell, ladies and gentlemen. It's all about playing with the limits. That was a really good tip. You know what I mean? In terms of the limitations that we have, and and how much flower, how much bud you can get, the milligrams, all that stuff you got to calculate. But when your POS does it and it's right in front of the bud tender, he can easily say, hey man, why don't you do this and get this? And suggesting other things beyond just your sales. The sales are to bring people in the store. And all of us have experienced these same selling techniques in regular retail. The sales are to bring you to the store. And once you get to the store, then they want to sell you everything else, right? That's the reason why all grocery stores put the eggs and the milk in the back corner, because they want you to walk past everything else so that you can get some compulsive, do some compulsive shopping and find other things to buy. Now, as a bud tender, you have to be the one who's bringing that compulsive itch to them by saying it, because they're not walking past these aisles of things, right? So now we have to verbally be the aisles and products and say, hey, what about shatter? What about this? What about that? Hey, you want to try this out? We got a little bit of that. And it's always the Costco technique of sampling, ladies and gentlemen. Sampling, guys, I'm a marketer, man. Nothing can beat sampling. Whenever you can give somebody a sample of something, man, you almost 9 out of 10, you got them. So always figure out a way to give somebody a free or low cost sample. It's going to always be beneficial to your business. Yeah. So Gary, we're going to talk operational secrets now. We're going to talk a little bit about, well, first, guys, all you out there, and I'm going to make Gary be agnostic, man, and neutral here about, how you're looking for POS. And guys, if you're out there shopping for a POS, right, and you don't really know what to look for, that we're going to bring an expert right here. He's going to let us know. So Gary, what are some of the best questions to ask any POS provider when trying to decide what is best for you? This is one of the most important ones, ladies and gentlemen. It's about the questions that you ask to figure out and to make sure you make a quality buying decision. So Gary, what questions did you ask?
I'm gonna give you just 3. I mean, there's a ton, but here would be the 3 most important. Ask whoever you're shopping, what have you done to make it easy to learn and easy to use? It seems so simple, but this software could be daunting. It's dealing with complexity, and if everyone wonders, like, what are you talking about? What's so complex about this? Well, you've got a purchasing limit. You've got IDs to check. Does the POS do all that? Then you've got, like, what if we want to know their history? We want to know who it is we're talking to. Have they been to our store before? Is it easy to figure out what they buy before? If I can call them by name, say, hey, welcome back, Jim. The last time you bought, a quarter of bubblegum Kush, how'd you like it? Well, I didn't like it. Well, then here's where we want to go, or let me ask you where we want to go. How easy is it for you to pivot to all the products in your inventory and also know the direction to take with this customer? Or they say, I loved it. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, you're back. Instead of buying a quarter, should we go to a half? You'll get a little bit better price on a half. Anyhow, all of that access to information, how easy is it? And then, unfortunately, bud tenders turn over quite a bit. So how long does it take to train them to use it? Hopefully it's 10 minutes, 5 minutes. But ask those questions.
That's a good one. I didn't think of. How long training, guys? That's a good one I didn't think of, gang. I usually think of all the good questions, but that one, how long does it take? That's a great question to ask, ladies and gentlemen. How long does it take to get my bud tenders trained up? And what have you done? What types of infrastructure and architecture is in place to make sure that happens quickly for us? Yeah, that's a dope one. Next, go ahead, Gary.
Okay, here's the next one.
Yeah.
And I know I sound like a broken record, but ask them what's their commitment to compliance. So it's not just, do they hook up to the state system, whether it's Metric or BioTrack or whatever, because all POSs need to do that. And you need to have that in the cannabis specific POS. But what do they do to keep the bud tenders, inventory managers, the financial information compliant? So one of the things we did was we put guardrails in to keep, to alert people to, this guy's underage, this ID is expired. this combination of products are going to put you into an overselling situation. You don't want to get stuck with fines, and you definitely don't want to get closed. So what is the commitment to all of that in the hands-on doing transactions or building your inventory? But what also goes with the compliance, ask this question. Things are going to mess up. So there's going to be errors that the state's going to report back that, you're reporting a tracking number that you never had. So how easy is it to go back and fix these things or make adjustments? Again, this all relates to where's their commitment to compliance?
Right.
And then lastly, and this is a big one, instead of asking someone how reliable is your system, go online and check them out.
Simple as that.
Did they go down on 420? Oh, they did. How many years in a row did they crash on 420?
Simple as that.
Our biggest player in the space has gone down 3 straight years.
3 times. 3 years in a row, guys. 3.
And don't ask me, like, hey, Cova, what's your story? Well, my story's great. And you ask anyone, their story's great. But go check. This is all online. So that reliability is essential, because if the system is down, you can't transact. Period. And if you can't transact, that's revenue. What happened on this 420 that we never realized, and I'll just say, by the way, Cova's never gone down on 420.
That's right.
I just got to say it.
That's right.
I didn't realize last year when Dutchie went down for like 3-4 hours, the bud tenders don't make any tips. Like, I didn't you think about the owners, like, hey man, we didn't sell anything for 4 hours. But you've got bud tenders in there, their income is based on tips, and they're not making anything.
Right.
So that was a harsh reality that went back through the whole ecosystem. So anyhow, check that out. I think check out reliability. That's big. One last thing is, ask if they have an offline mode. So if they lose internet, so let's say the whole system didn't crash, but your internet crashed, or your internet went out, or your power went out. Do you have to close the store? Or is there ability to continually transact without internet and without power? It's a great question to ask. Now, if you're in the middle of Newark or Jersey City, chances are you're not losing your internet. But there's parts of New Jersey, north, central, and south, where they have power and internet problems. Hopefully you get a POS that can work when those things go out.
Absolutely, man. And that happens all across Jersey. It doesn't matter what city we're in, man. We've all had outages when it comes to internet, when it comes to power. That is just a part of the game, and knowing that that's going to happen eventually at one point in time. And that's one of the features that I really love about Cova, ladies and gentlemen, as well, that I don't see many of the other competitors. I don't think any of them have it, which is the offline mode, the ability to transact even when you don't have internet connection, even when your power's down, stuff like that, man. Those are the types of redundancy we call, in tech heads, we need that redundancy. We need a way to protect ourselves, man. And they're thinking ahead of the game because they're also on the tech level, man. And that's why I like Cova, because it takes those types of forward thinking to ensure that, you're protecting the assets, man. So let's talk about POS options, man, the tech, the feature sets. I know everybody goes out, they start to shop for everything. They start to look at all of these different bells and whistles, and they say, oh man, I talk to all my owners and I say, why did you pick this POS? And they literally don't have an answer for me. They almost always are just like, I don't know, the sales guy was cool, so I just did it. And they kept following up with me. Like, they're not really absorbing any of the sides that are important, which is the tech set, the features, and they can get daunting because there's a lot of them. And when you're not technical, you don't know what you're really looking at or reading. So I want you to say, Gary, now, what are some of the most important features that owners should consider when selecting a POS? What are some of the most important? We just said one, that offline. Offline mode.
I'm only going to give 2.
All right.
The first, because honestly, those dot matrix where it shows every company, like on the top, it has companies, on the side, it has features.
Yeah.
You could have 100 features and try to figure out, put dots in the ones that haven't done. The truth is, here's what's most important. Reporting. So everything we're going to talk about today, or we have been talking about, relates to the POS should do the transaction. Like, make the sale. We're going to talk later about, I have some data about how fast the sale needs to happen. But reporting is what gives you the information to make good decisions in your business. And like Gary said at the start, the POS is kind of the heart of the whole tech stack for a store. So everything feeds off of the POS. If you have a loyalty system, it's pulling the sales to give the loyalty points. If you've got digital signage, it's going in, pulling whatever you want to display. If you've got e-commerce, so you've got a website, it should be pulling your inventory and your promotions accurately up to your website. So the POS is not only drives all those systems, but it's recording all the data. It's recording what you have in your store and what you're selling out of your store. So reporting ultimately is going to tell you, and I'll give some examples of data that you get from it, but how strong are the reporting tools of the POS? And not only look at the output, does it have pre-formatted reports like a sales report or an inventory report or what you should reorder and when? But then look at real-time data. Is it giving you information about what's going on in my store right now? So if I leave the store to go to lunch, can I still look on my phone and see what's going on? That's the type of reporting you want to dig into.
Right.
Secondly is promotions. So, when I was in New Jersey 5 years ago, talking about here's what's coming your way, here's what the industry is going to look like, I would say promotions aren't a big deal in a brand new industry because you've got enormous demand. There's only so many dispensaries. You don't need promotions.
Right.
Well, unfortunately, people can go right across the river into New York and they can get weed and get their product. So, and they can get it at a good price. So it turns out what's different today than 4 years ago is I'm seeing more new markets that are surrounded by existing markets having to do promotion. A good example is like Michigan and Ohio.
Right.
People are paying all the sales tax and all the add-ons that Ohio's lumped on. They're going to Michigan, that's a mature market, getting it way cheaper. So it turns out New Jersey and Ohio need promotional capabilities. So when you're looking at that POS, promotions are the most complex and sophisticated in cannabis of any industry, bar none. If you come here to Colorado, you open, like we have like those free weekly papers. Ours is called Westward. And the back third of it is all cannabis ads with a jillion promotions. Right. So you can have a promotion in the paper, but your POS needs to be able to process it, report it, provide the right discounts. So anyhow, look at those two things, reporting and promotions.
Yeah.
They're going to be your lifeblood and part of your big decisions you're going to make.
Yeah, no, that was really good stuff, Gary. I hope y'all paying attention. That was a lot of really good info right there. A lot of good info right there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to go back and recap a little bit, man. I'm the marketer, so reporting is the lifeblood of everything we do as a marketer. It's all about the data, ladies and gentlemen. We can only make adjustments in your marketing campaign if we have accurate data. That's why in the beginning of most of our campaigns as a marketer, we are spending money just to quickly acquire the data that we need to make intelligent decisions with the rest of the marketing campaign. We want to quickly identify what's not working and figure out what's working. And the only way we can do that is with proper, accurate reporting. And just like Gary says, getting it accurate, getting it in real time. Sometimes we have to make adjustments very quickly. Some of the reporting mechanisms are delayed. They'll be delayed 24 hours, 48 hours, and we can't get that. That stifles us sometimes as marketers. We need real-time data so that we can make those decisions quickly, because these things are happening fast. That 24 hours, we may have missed out $20,000 because we weren't able to make an adjustment that we would have been able to see if it was real time. You know what I mean? So guys, those things like that. Identifying what customer, how many times a customer returns, returning customers. That's one of the, everybody spends money and goes, and everybody pushes me as a marketer, say, Gary, we need more customers. We need more customers. We need more customers. And I say, yeah, we need more customers. But the biggest jumps you're going to see in your revenue is actually nurturing your existing customers. It's the retention. It's those people already trust you. They already like you. They already been there. They're already impartial to you. It's much easier for me to influence those individuals to come in the store, buy something, upsell them on something that they didn't really intend to come, versus a new person who has their guard up and they don't really know you. And they're like, are you trying to beat me? You're trying to sell me something else? What are you doing? No, I have a trust factor with you. You already here, boom, boom, boom. That's the reason why I tell guys, man, retention, customer retention at many times is actually much more profitable than customer acquisition. Customer acquisition costs us a lot of money to get that new customer. And then most of the owners forget we spent all this money to get that new customer, and then they forget about them. And then we don't do anything to retain them. You're wasting your money if you don't have both of those things bolted in, and we can't do any of that without the reporting. The second thing I want to mention is promotions. Like Gary was saying, one of the most important things in cannabis is promotions, but understanding which promotions are actually working to your benefit, which ones are bringing those return customers, which ones are actually having those individuals after it's off of promotion are coming back to continue those purchases. That's where that reporting becomes, sophisticated reporting becomes a lot more detrimental to your business if you don't have the capability to identify those things. When we do, we can send the customer some very precise messaging. If I know you like pre-rolls and this guy likes edibles, my messaging to them is going to be very different, and that makes a significant difference in the amount that you sell. So I just wanted to pick that up, man, one time and give y'all a little marketing jewels at the same damn time. All right, Gary, we're gonna jump into the next one, man. All right, how can new dispensaries, all my new dispensaries, listen up, everybody out of the gate, and that's damn near everybody in New Jersey. How can new dispensaries get off to a fast start, Gary? How can they get off to a fast start?
Well, this is like you're throwing a softball at me. It's the basics of marketing prior to your opening. So all the principles of marketing, one of which is work with your suppliers and build a social presence. So it turns out if you line up your suppliers as you're getting ready to open, they will help market through their social media and your new store. Have them promote to their eyeballs. Another thing that Gary was talking about is invite local VIPs, whether it's politicians. I can't tell you how many people I've helped around the country. Make an introduction to their local fire chief or chief of police. And I can't stress this enough. You guys, when you're building your dispensary out, you're doing so many things that are kind of forced on you by regulation. You're doing things to prevent kids from seeing the cannabis inside the store. You're checking IDs. You might have technology like ours that checks IDs. And think about how you secure the cannabis at night so that a bunch of high school kids aren't going to bust in and just start taking the cannabis. When you go tell your local VIPs, whether it's police, fire, or the mayor, tell them all the things you're doing to make this store safe and a safe place to shop. And then invite them. And they'll come. And you've got their support. And the fact that you have considerately thought through all these things, even if you're regulated to do a lot of it, they don't know that. So telling them everything you're doing to make this a good, safe place to shop.
That's a great tip. Hold on, Gary. I'm going to stop you there, guys. Pay attention to that one. That's a really great tip. That's something that you should be doing from the very beginning of the application process, is building relationships with all of those city officials, everyone else who has any type of buy-in or has a concern. I went through it myself in many municipalities, local meetings that I was in, and talking to the chiefs of police. And it was so funny because, they would really share with me and say, Gary, I feel like, this or that. And they would have all these misconceptions in their mind about it. And I would tell them, no, it's nothing like that. It's this, it's that. And I would see the relief come over their faces. It was just the fact they were looking for a reputable person who knew what they were talking about to get that piece of information and make them feel comfortable. A lot of times it's just you going and having these conversations, man. And a lot of chiefs with police, I was laughing sometimes when they would tell me their reservations because they were like so old school. And then I'll be like, then I'll break it down to them nicely about why this, why that. And they was like, oh, okay, they get it. So just like Gary said, man, you got to go out and really express it and really pull them to the side, man. But that's really good stuff. Did you have another one, Gary?
Yeah, I had a couple. Another thing is when you're trying to get capital to open your store, you might have some great ideas and some great touches you want to add to your store. Do them later. Like, get open.
Right.
Like, that's my best advice is, I'm not saying skimp, don't spend. But like, let's say you want some really elaborate display cases made, or you want some really elaborate signage. Worry about getting open before, like, you can do those things later. So don't overextend prior to launch. You can add special touches later. Now, here's another one to get off to a fast start. I tell everyone this, but in I guess every speech or every webinar, every seminar I've ever done, I've said this same thing. But do you know what your proposition, your value proposition is to your customers? Which is, why should I shop with you? Somewhere in your business plan, you need that reason of why am I going to you? You can call it your differentiators or your differentiation. But you need to know and create a reason that I'm going to go to your dispensary and not the one across the street or down the street or in the next town. And if you don't have that, you need it when you open, not down the road when you start grasping for, man, there's a million dispensaries around me, and how am I going to make myself stand out?
Right.
You need that. Now, there's a ton of things you can do. I could give you a dozen, but is it your selection? Are you curating your inventory? And that's a weird thing. New Jersey you're not brand new. This isn't day one where you have no choices of suppliers. So figure out, is your product going to be organic? Is it going to be the top 3 things people are buying in the state? That's what we're going to have. Is your store about safety and security? We've got this thing dialed in about guards or cameras or secure parking lot. Whatever it is it convenience? Is it like we have the best, fastest store you could shop at? Or is it education? We are the most educational. We're going to give you the most knowledge. We're going to train our people. So anyhow, it's one of those things. How do you get off to a fast start? By knowing what you're about. And if you know what you're about and you coach and train your people, this is what we're about. The customers are going to have a good experience because there's an interaction that happens that's positive, not just, hey, what are you looking for? And that's it.
Absolutely. It is all about finding a niche, man. And that's basically niche marketing. That's boiled down to, ladies and gentlemen, what we call niche marketing. You got to find some type of competitive advantage. You got to find some type of differentiator. You got to be something different. What everybody else is doing, you can't do it unless you're not going to stand out. And especially in cannabis, especially right now in New Jersey, when all the product lines are commoditized and everybody has the same product lines. Now it's about, what am I doing different as an operation? What am I doing different that makes you feel better to shop at my shop versus another shop? You got to think deeper and outside of the box to come up with some of those hooks so that and just like Gary said, training your staff as well, your bud tenders and everybody else, That's what you call corporate culture, right? In the bigger sense of the thing, everybody is on the same page. Everybody kind of knows where we're going with things, and they communicate it. And everything, when the person comes in the store, they feel that. That is a very important way of solidifying your brand and differentiating yourself from everyone around you. Very important stuff. So, Gary, what have you seen work the best across operators when it comes to loyalty programs? Loyalty programs drive sales. So what have you seen really working?
Well, again, one of the smartest things you can do with loyalty in particular is do it right at the start. So try to get the customer information so that you can communicate with them. So there's, I know, Gary, you're saying loyalty, but sometimes the loyalty and CRM go together. And CRM is customer relationship management. So the loyalty means I can identify you, and when you come back, you're going to get points and you're going to get rewards. But you almost want to tie that to communicating with them over time. And so that's part one. It's one thing to reward people. It's another thing to build a communication relationship with them. I think secondly, what we see in more mature markets is building tiers or status of customers and loyalty. So do you give everyone the same thing for coming back, or the people who spend the most or come back the most, do they get some kind of status? And guess what? Just like loyalty programs with airlines or grocery stores, the big spenders get more. They get treated better.
Right.
Okay, I always tell this story about our very first customer in Washington had a loyalty program, and their top clients got to get invited to their twice-a-year parties. And they fenced off their back, they had a band, and people actually spent more to qualify to come to the party. They wanted to be part of that. And
right.
Think about sticky and loyal. The other thing I've seen one of our California guys do is, instead of, if I'm a big spender and I'm coming in all the time and I can afford to spend a lot, giving me 10% off or giving me a free pre-roll, that's not much. But if you give me a massage, I can go get a massage, or
right.
give me a steak dinner at some fancy steak place in town.
Right.
That's killer. And I've spent $10,000 and you kicked me back a $300 dinner. The $300 dinner is worth way more than any kind of spiffs you can give me on my purchases.
Yep.
I feel special. So that's part of how to manage the loyalty program over time. The thing that I want to emphasize is build up that database of customers.
Right.
Okay. The other thing that it's not even the loyalty thing, it's in your POS. Can you see a customer's history? So if a bud tender can look quickly at the next customer, it's Gary Cohen, and man, Gary's here about twice a month. He spends about $130 every time he comes through the door. And I can create that interaction with him. The loyalty points and the loyalty stuff is gravy. The fact that you recognize me as a loyal customer goes incredibly far.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It is all about recognition. And that was a lot of good info in there, guys. I hope y'all were paying attention. Gary dropped more bombs on us. And as a marketer, that's something that we practice all of the time. And we say, man, giving discounts will only go but so far. And it only has but so much value, just like Gary said. To those of us who already got the money, that 10% didn't even really matter anyway. We're just like, thanks or whatever, right? But if I give you something physical and I give you something that you can remember, guess what? When you go eat that dinner that I gave you, that free steak dinner, who are you thinking about the whole time? You got your wife, maybe your kids with you. Who are you thinking about the entire time? The whole meal, you are thinking about me while you eat. That is a way that you can really solidify your position in people's minds. It is much more. It's just like your kids on Christmas. I used to try to push my kids to this and say, all right, kids, I'm tired of buying gifts, man. Well, do y'all want money or do you want gifts? And they would always be like, no, we want the gifts, right? Because I can just give you the money and y'all can go buy what you want. But it's something about someone buying you a gift, thinking about some things that you like, and you experiencing that thing and you remembering the person who gave it to you. It is much more effective. So that was a really good one.
I'll tell you one last thing on that. There's a guy here in Denver. His dispensary is like literally down the block down there. And he does you get car detailing.
Mm-hmm.
And like people are like, he's made a whole reputation of, after you've spent, I don't know what the number is, maybe it's $1,500, you get the $99 car detailing at the car wash place near him.
Yeah.
And no one in Denver did that except this guy. And that's his loyalty thing. And guess what? People like their cars taken care of. Anyhow, so I couldn't agree with you more, Gary. It's an experience or a service usually counts more than a thing.
Yep. All day. And it could be cheaper, guys. You can give someone a cheaper, instead of doing all these big discounts, you can give somebody a cheaper physical gift or something that they have to go and do. And that'll be so much more impactful. It's just like with your wives and your spouses, right? If you go buy you get her a Gucci bag, she's like, thanks. But if you get her something that she really was thinking about and she told you and only you knew this and you bought her something to facilitate that, she's going to appreciate that way more than a Gucci bag or Birkin, whatever you could go out and get her, even though it costs a lot less, you know? So it's the same concept, guys. And also with gamification, Gary, that was also another good one. We call it gamification, guys. Yeah. When people are competing to win something, right? Sometimes people will spend more than the actual item they want to win. We all have done it. Where at the fair. At the fair, yeah. We go to the fair and amusement park and you're trying to win that teddy bear, and the teddy bear is only a $5 teddy bear, but we're sitting there racking up $20, $30, trying to win this freaking teddy bear because you just want to win. Gamification, ladies and gentlemen, it's a human element that you can exploit for your own business profitability, man. So that's another big one. Y'all better write these down, man. We're giving y'all some juice. All right, last three. I got to let Gary go. He's busy, y'all. I got three more. If y'all got any questions, put them up in the chat, guys. We're going to try to squeeze them in. We got the pro here, so I got to get them in for y'all. Let's go. All right, what are some of the most important insights owners can get from their POS data? You know, spotting trends, identifying breakout categories, customer behaviors, patterns. What are some other things, man, important insights that you can get from the POS data?
Okay. Well, we only have a few minutes. Can you guys see my screen?
No.
Okay.
Oh, you want to share your screen?
There you go. How about now?
All right. Yes. Yep, I do. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I'm going to go to the most important one of these slides. And this is what I want you to think about in extracting from your POS. When you look at something like this and you go, and this happens to me all the time. I'll go to a dispensary. I'll go, who's your best bud tender? And they'll go, it's Ryan. And I go, why is Ryan? And they go, well, Ryan does the most sales. But look who's making me the most money. Chris. Chris is he's selling more per basket or more per transaction. He's discounting the least, only 2%.
Mm-hmm.
And look at the margin on what Chris sells. Okay, now Ryan's doing a ton of business, but he's also discounting a ton. We could go into the data and we might find that Ryan's doing some bad things. Ryan might be giving everyone who comes in a veteran's discount, whether they're a veteran or not. And everyone knows, just go in there and tell Ryan you're a veteran, because they don't check it. Anyhow, I think what I want you to understand from this is that in the data, you can make good decisions, but you need to look at all this data. There's a ton, I made all these slides, but I was talking earlier about past purchases. So I can understand, how am I going to deal with this customer when they come in? We're talking about loyalty. I want to be able to understand how loyal this customer is and the treatment that we're going to give them when they come in.
Right.
The end of day report. So one of the things as an owner is I want a summary every day of how are we doing. I also want a benchmark, like, is this a regular Tuesday? Was this a bad Tuesday? I want to be able to understand what's going on with my business. And if it was a bad Tuesday, I want to be able to dig into what happened. I want to know my top suppliers, and top brands. I might find out that the thing that sells the most doesn't provide me much margin. So I might be selling a ton of stuff that I'm not making any money on. How am I going to switch that around and do customers, if they think all bubblegum kush is the same, why am I getting the most expensive cost bubblegum kush?
Right.
I want to know sales by product. So I need to know by category, by product, what's selling. The other thing is I want to be able to look at my inventory buyer and see if they're doing a good job or a bad job. So what if over time they keep buying the same stuff from the same guys, paying the same amount? I want to be able to look at why aren't you negotiating?
Right.
Why is this your buddy? And guess what? It probably is his buddy.
Right.
Lazy. And he's
right.
not really shopping. He's not really doing his job and trying to get us the best cost. I think inventory on hand is really important. And these are all things, if you're running a dispensary now, you know all this stuff. But then do you go in and do you do anything about this information? So inventory on hand, do we have really slow moving stuff? If it's really slow moving, I don't want my buyer buying it again. People don't want it. They're buying the wrong stuff. And then reordering, I want to know the velocity of how fast things are moving off the shelves. So I need, I like having visibility into the speed with which things sell. Well, there's a ton of KPIs, or key performance indicators. I want to look at those things. Anyhow, I don't want to go through that. I just wanted to give you kind of a high level.
This is good. This is good. Good overview.
Before we go, Gary asked me, is there any benchmark data you could share that would be incredibly helpful? And I did want to share this data before we go. And it's called speed moments. So where in the transaction or where in the visit to the store can you increase the speed which customers find valuable? And there's really two places. In the check-in. So how easy is it to get into your store, have my ID checked, and get me through a queue if I have to wait in a waiting room? How do you manage all that?
Right.
And if you can reduce the check-in by 50%, the norm would be 30 seconds. Can you get someone in the door in less than 30 seconds? That's the goal.
Oh, y'all heard that. Y'all heard that magic number. Gary just gave it to you on a platter after analyzing over 2,000 dispensary data, man.
Okay, here's another one, is checkout reduction. So if you can check out and reduce the average time by 60 to 70%, which gets it to a minute. Mm-hmm. So if you want to have a goal, by the time the people go, okay, I want to get blah, blah, blah in my basket, from that moment, how do you get them through the process of payment and checkout? That is a huge metric. Here's the next one. Retail turnover is 32% higher in corporate dispensaries versus family owned. 32% higher. So we didn't talk about it, but one of the keys to success is ownership visibility or ownership on premise.
Right.
So if you're an absentee owner, like if you're going to start a dispensary, you're never going to go visit it. You're probably not going to do as well, and you're going to have higher turnover. So don't get jealous of those MSOs. The MSOs tend to not hold their employees as well as family owned. And
Wow,
then
that's
lastly,
killer. Gary's giving it to us, y'all. Go ahead. Minute,
okay,
take our last
the
one.
last one,
Yeah.
the lift from SEO that we've seen. And that's, having a company page that's accessible, having your inventory and products accessible, so taggable, and whatever promotions you're running is 3 to 5% overall in the total overall store sales. But what it lifts on your online sales is 40 to 50%. So when you're looking at e-commerce for your business, don't do an iframe
Don't do it, guys.
don't do a generic iframe.
Don't use iframes.
Don't use iframes. Get a
Terrible.
site that's accessible, that's SEO enabled. And there's a lot you can do to make your SEO more and more successful. But you absolutely want to have that because we see a huge lift.
Yes. Man, that was gold, ladies and gentlemen. Throw the G's up right now. Gary just gave us a whole bunch of goodness, man. Back to back. I hope y'all wrote down those stats. I know I did. I'm going to remember them. 30 seconds, you want check-in time. You want to be below 30 seconds and better, right? That's checking into the place. Then when you check out, we want to be under 1 minute, 60 seconds. Was that the metric, Gary?
Yep.
60 seconds, I'm at the register. I've transacted and I'm out of there within 60 seconds. That's going to bring you more business, more continued return business, and everybody's going to be happy. And being on site as an owner, cannot be an absentee owner in this game. You can, but you're going to suffer in sales. People want that. All your employees are motivated by what? The owner. And the other people coming in the store are also motivated by seeing that the owner is there. That makes them have more loyalty to you. They feel like, oh yeah, I know the owner. That's my guy, right? They want to say that to their friends. You have to be there, make friends, ladies and gentlemen. It's not about hiding in the background, man. And this is validated by a significant amount of POS data that's coming from all across the United States, guys. So there is no better source than what you're getting right here from Gary, from Cova, in the building. Gary, that was super dope, man. And we almost made it in time. 1 hour and 6 minutes, and we're almost there, baby. Let's go. And Gary, last closing words, man. You're going to be on stage here, guys. You're going to see him October 18th, 19th in Newark, New Jersey, Doubletree, ladies and gentlemen. But Gary, any closing remarks, man? Anything you want to say to the crowd, and how can they get to Cova if those who are interested in getting on board? Give them all the good stuff.
Well, you can find us at covasoftware.com. And I think what you'll find is we're all about support and service. So I don't think you'll deal with a more educated expert group to help your store get up and running. And then the POS is just enabling that. So that's kind of how we've built our success. It's helping dispensary owners be successful. So anyhow, give us a shot, and all the information we'll follow up within minutes if you reach our site.
Yes, man. And let me tell you guys, Cova has some of the best educational materials, some of the best write-ups, some of the best white papers, other things. Guys, go to their site and really dig in, man, because that was also a reason I took a great liking to them, because it is about educating those who, take the veil down and show you what's behind the curtain. Those are usually the individuals that are on the up and up and are doing great things. That's the reason why we're not hiding anything. Those who are doing great things don't want to hide it. We want to make sure you see it, and Cova has always been that, man. So big up to Cova. Big up to y'all, man. Always making it happen. Gary Cohen in the building, baby. He's going to be in Jersey October 18th, 19th. Guys, getting even more. And just as we said, it's all about making relationships. You need to be in the building and shake this guy's hand and go up to him and say, Gary, thank you for all the great info you gave me on the webinar and at the conference, guys. And we're going to chill out and have some fun. So big up to you, Gary. Thanks again, man. Much appreciated. Cova in the building.
We'll see you guys next month.
Yes, sir. Have a good one. Let's go. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Another week of that goodness, man. Big up, man. This is super dope, man. I can't ask for anything more. And Gary comes on to give us exclusive information. This is behind the scenes stuff, y'all. I'm really getting these guys to give you some stuff that you're not going to get anywhere else. So he said a couple of really key things there. things that I didn't know. I'm learning at the same time. I told you I'll do these out of personal necessity, man. You know what I mean? So that's also the reason, man. But yes, Tom Spooner in the building, the ATM guy, man. Make sure you go check him out. U.S. Payments will be in the building October 18th, 19th. Stacy with the packaging in the building. Classes littered in the building. Juan in the building. All of y'all still, man. Thank y'all for staying the whole time. Human Resources. Catherine's in the building. Anna's in the building. Everybody's up in the building, man. Big up to y'all for also coming through, man, and representing. Make sure you get your tickets, guys. Go to realcannabisentrepreneur.com, realcannabisentrepreneur.com, and get your tickets for October 18th and 19th, man. Doubletree. This one's going to be fire. Fire, fire, fire! All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got a lot of work to do. I would normally stay on here and play around for a little bit, but I got to bang out, man. It's time to bang, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for attending another week's webinar. Next week, we got even more goodness. I think we're going psychedelics next week, so make sure you're tuned in. I've been bringing you all the best cannabis info. Now we're going to split into some psychedelics info. So make sure you're here and tuned in next Tuesday, baby, noontime. Get it popping. Enjoy the rest of your week, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll see you soon. Peace.